So, while the rest of the world is busy talking about recession, India has just set off a digital bombshell. And trust me, the shockwaves are being felt everywhere, from Washington all the way to Beijing. Now, this isn't about military power. Oh no. This is about a digital weapon that's sitting in the pocket of pretty much every Indian. Okay, let's dive into this. We are talking about the Unified Payments Interface, or, as you probably know it, UPI.
Let's just start with one number that completely changes the game: 49%. Nearly half, yes, you heard that right, 49% of all real-time digital transactions on the entire planet are now happening in India. You have to remember, just a few years ago, this was a cash-driven society. Today, it's handling almost half the world's digital payment volume. That's just staggering.
And look, this isn't just us saying it. This is official. The International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has just come out and confirmed it. India's UPI is, without a doubt, the #1 real-time payment system in the world. So that's what we're going to unpack today: how a technology that was made in India managed to leapfrog the entire globe.
All right, so how on earth did India establish this kind of dominance over the world of digital payments? Let's really break down the massive scale of what they've accomplished.
So for anyone who's not totally familiar, let's just quickly get on the same page. What is UPI? Well, it's an instant payment system. It lets you send money directly from your bank account to someone else's bank account in real time using just your phone. That's the key. No credit cards needed, no topping up a digital wallet, nothing. Just your bank account and your phone. To really get a sense of just how massive this is, let's see how UPI stacks up against some of the other major players, countries that, until recently, everyone thought were leading the pack. Okay, first, get ready for this number. In a single year, India's UPI processed, wait for it, 129.3 billion transactions. I mean, just try to wrap your head around a number that big. It really sets the stage for one of the most unbelievable comparisons in modern tech. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's look at Brazil. You know, Brazil's Pix system gets a ton of praise, and it's a great system. But look at the numbers. Its 37.4 billion transactions are just completely dwarfed by India's 129.3 billion. It's not even the same ballpark. But this next slide, this is the real mic drop. Let's take the next 4 biggest countries: Brazil, China, Thailand, and South Korea, and add all their transactions together. Even when you combine all 4 of them, they still don't reach what India did all by itself. This one chart tells the entire story of absolute domination. It's wild.
And here is the absolute kicker, the most important part of this story. How did India do it? It didn't just license technology from some American company. Nope, it built its own independent financial ecosystem from scratch with its own card network called RuPay and its own UPI system. This is a 100% made in India success story.
Now, success on this level doesn't just happen by accident, right? So you have to be asking, what was the secret sauce? What was the magical formula? Let's take a look at how this incredible system was designed.
To really appreciate the magic of UPI, you got to remember what life was like before. It was a nightmare, right? Going to the bank, waiting for hours for a transfer to go through, filling out these crazy complicated forms just to pay someone new. UPI just wiped all of that away.
This is the user experience that changed everything. Scan, PIN, paid, done. We're talking less than 3 seconds, and the money is sent from one bank account to another. That's it. That's the whole process. Its secret weapon was radical, unbelievable simplicity.
The IMF report actually points to 3 foundational pillars that made this all possible. First, interoperability. This is huge. It means one single QR code works with any payment app. Second, simplicity. It was designed for everyone, not just tech nerds. And third, something called the India Stack. Think of it as this powerful government-led trio, linking basic bank accounts for all citizens, a universal ID number, and of course, mobile phones.
But you know, the big numbers are one thing. The real story, the real revolution, is what happened on the streets of India. How did this thing actually change the destiny of the common person? So let's ask that question directly. Beyond all the data and the charts, what did 129 billion snap transactions actually mean for the daily lives of hundreds of millions of people? Well, it meant that for the very first time, the smallest of small businesses could accept digital payments. We're talking rickshaw drivers, vegetable vendors on the side of the road, tea stall owners, even the people selling flowers outside of temples. They were all brought into the formal economy, no longer having to deal with loose change or trying to manage credit. This is what real financial inclusion looks like.
on a scale nobody thought was possible.
And you know, this is the perfect answer to all the doubters. After the big demonetization back in 2016, a lot of international experts said a digital system would never work in a country like India. They said it was impossible. Well, I think 129 billion transactions is a pretty good answer, don't you? Those critics have gone very, very quiet.
Okay, so domestic domination is pretty much a done deal. So what's next? Well, the mission is now expanding way beyond India's borders. Let's look at the next chapter for UPI. UPI is officially going global. We're seeing countries like France, the UAE, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Nepal all starting to integrate the system. The dream is that soon an Indian tourist in Paris can just scan a QR code at the Eiffel Tower and pay for their coffee with UPI just like they would back home. No currency exchange, no hassle.
But of course, going global isn't a walk in the park. There are some huge challenges ahead. Cybersecurity becomes even more critical. You've got to make sure there's good internet, even in the most remote areas. And then there's the big one. As UPI becomes a global payment system, it starts to look like a real challenger to the decades-long dominance of the US dollar.
Ultimately, when you boil it all down, the story of UPI proves one really powerful idea: that the world's most impactful digital revolution isn't necessarily happening in those shiny offices in Silicon Valley. It's happening on the ground, in the busy streets and local neighborhoods of India, driven by the real needs of ordinary people.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most provocative question. As this Indian system continues its march across the globe, you have to ask, is this just about convenience? Are we witnessing the birth of a brand new financial network that could, one day, truly challenge the dominance of the world's reserve currency? That's a big thought to leave you with.